It's the agents of Sigmar.
And we're back again, this time in front of the camera. Lucky you. And we have an unboxing for you, and you probably already know what that unboxing is because YouTube spoils it by putting it right at the top. But the unboxing today is Warhammer Underworlds NightVault.
Oh, NightVault.
That's right, Pete. What is it?
NightVault.
Exactly. So here we are with NightVault, and we're going to have a look inside the box. Now, this video is more aimed at people who are kind of don't really know what Warhammer Underworlds Shadespire is, just so you can have a look in the box, see what you get, and we'll talk you through what's in there. If you're an expert, then you probably want to look, but we're not in this video. We're not going to go through all the details of the differences in the games and the new things, and the new cards. There will be a video up here, which will have all of the what Pete and I consider to be the major changes and all the new rules explained as well as we can in the relatively short time we've got it, because we don't want to be doing this 3 weeks after NightVault's come out.
I want to get this out on the day because you guys want to see it as quickly as you can.
Exactly, and then we'll do a third video which will be up here, which will be a card run through of the cards that are in the deck. A few of you have requested that when we put out shout outs on Facebook and things. So we will go through those so you can see what the new cards are. But without further ado, let's undo the box. Now, I have to say, I have already opened this so I could look at it and work out what was in, what was out, what was new. So this is in the order in which you'll find it. It's a little bit more messed up than you will find it. And normally it doesn't matter because we have a, you can't see it, but Pete's got this nice top-down version, so you might actually see it. So at the beginning, NightVault. This was just the beginning. You can buy more stuff from Games Workshop. Okay, there's some Shadespire, the Mirror to a novel by my favourite GW author, Josh Reynolds. And then there's a Learn to Play.
Nice and quick and easy, this one.
So the Learn to Play actually has all the contents of the box, so I'll hang on to that.
It's not really a Learn to Play then, it's a what you get in the box.
It does have a Learn to Play, but at the beginning it has everything that's in the box.
Right, cool.
And then there's your instructions for how to put your Citadel miniatures together, which if you're a regular Citadel miniature person, you will know all about those. If you're new, it's all there.
They are all push fit, so you don't need glue for this game.
You just need a pair of clippers to clip them out.
Clippy clips. You could twist them off the frame or push them out.
You could.
And it makes me feel a little vomitous. Just
you could, especially the NightVault. I imagine it would probably snap. But we haven't.
So get some clippers.
There might not be any miniatures in here. We don't know. We haven't opened the box.
No.
And so we've got the rule book, which we'll quickly go through in a minute. And then I didn't open this bit. I didn't spoil this bit for myself and for Pete. So I should let Pete do this because this arrived in my house. Pete hasn't actually seen this yet. Here are the boards, and I think the tokens must be in there as well.
Oh yeah, it's quite thick for all that. Yeah. We'll open that in a second.
Okay, and then you get 3 decks of cards.
So you get one deck here, which is extra cards, and it says very specifically, do not open this until you have played a few games. So don't open them. Don't do it. Don't do it. You'll just regret it. You'll spoil it for yourself.
All over the place. But there's another deck, which is the Thorns of the Briar Queen. So they're the deck that the NightVault team will be playing. Now these all come separately sealed, but I have
Robin's had his filthy fingers all over them.
I have, and then there's Stormsire's Curse Breakers, which is basically the Stormcast Eternals of this set.
Stormcast V3.
Yes, and there are 3 of those. So finally in the box we have the dice, which I might come on to in a second, and some miniatures.
Model.
So there are 3 Stormsire Curse Breakers. There's 3 there, big bases. For a fairly standard Stormcast fare. Yeah, I mean they look good dark blue plastic like Steelheart and such like.
And you've got your 7 Thorns of the Briar Queen. So technically it should be 6 Thorns of the Briar Queen and the Briar Queen herself.
Yes.
You've got tiny weedy bases, but the Briar Queen's on a slightly bigger one. I'm assuming that's the Briar Queen's base because she's a bit more important than the others.
I assume so.
And they're a nice. I've not seen this shade of green. It's kind of like it's almost Death Guard green mixed with a little, mixed with something a little, make it a little paler. It's quite funky. Not seen that before, but they are, as always, exquisite models. All push fit, but you will need clippers to get these off the sprue.
So much like Warhammer Underworld Shadespire, the box doesn't actually have
lots of bags.
Thank you. Much like Warhammer Underworld Shadespire, it doesn't have a lot in the box. You don't need very many miniatures to play. You don't need very many cards to play. You can play this game with your mate over and over, or with Pete, over and over, and you've got everything you need to play it.
We could record it and stick it on YouTube.
You could do. I wouldn't do that. No. Find a different game. This is our game. Don't.
Back off.
So opening the dice. Opening the dice here. We've got those of you who have played the game before, we have the familiar black and white dice.
There's no green screen there. Let you down.
Familiar with the black and white dice. So the white dice are your attack dice, and there are 5 of those, and the black dice are your defense dice. There's 3 of those, and there are 3 new ones.
Ooh, 3 shiny
ones, and they are the magic dice, the spell dice. And for those who are interested, they have 2 symbols on them. They have lightning symbols and swirly symbols. They also have a critical hit on them. Ooh. So again, the critical...
There are 3 symbols.
The exclamation... Yeah, sorry, did I say 2?
You said 2.
The exclamation mark is very important.
Yes.
Because that's a critical, and so if you haven't played the game before, the criticals, everything is... Well, you know, the more criticals you roll, the better. In fact, some people might even name their blog after it. Might they, John?
Yeah.
So the crit is everything, and Magic has crit. So that's the first exciting piece of news for those of you who have joined us from Shadespire. Magic has crits.
And for those who haven't and are coming for this brand new again, you do get a lot of these dice in the previous version. Not that you care about the previous version, because you want to know all about this version. And the dice make the game mechanics really easy to play. It just makes it so there's no looking up on tables. You can just, with a very small amount of time, work out what you need with the dice.
You kind of visually roll off. So you roll white dice against black dice, and if I get more successes than you get successes, then I win, and if you get more successes than I get successes, then you win. And that's pretty much, in a nutshell, how the roll-offs work.
So next on the list is this, the boards. And there's many boards here. Many boards. So we've got 2 boards in total, that's many, because I can't count very high, so you know, it's a lot for me.
And many was got.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. And you've got 2 new boards.
2 new boards.
Or just regular boards, even. I mean, this one has a nice greeny kind of effect to it. Yeah. And I noticed immediately you've got deployments on right on the edges there, and some in the middle. And that only has 6. Oh, there's one over here. Some right on the corner. There's one right over the corner over this side. Yeah. There's one right on the corner over that side. There's one on the... So they're very spread out.
So that's one you can deploy. These are the 3 squares for those you haven't played. These are where you can deploy your miniatures at the beginning of the game.
Yes.
And that has no block tiles. This side has block tiles. They're double-sided. Yeah. In the game, you'll choose which side you want. You'll choose a board from your collection. So you can have other boards from the other versions of the game.
Yep.
And you choose your board, and you can choose the side that you play on. Now, this side has the 7 symbols for where your miniatures can start the game. You
only get 7 models in total in your warband at most.
At most, some might say some only have 3, some have 7, some have 5, some have 4. I think you get the idea. And this one this is not completely new, but it's new to the starter set of the game. You've got these red hexes, and they are lethal hexes, where they're not actually lethal. They're mildly irritating. They cause damage, but they don't kill you. I mean, they're not.
Depends how many wounds you got.
Well, that's true. But anyway, yes, they lethal makes them sound more deadly than they are, I think. But yeah, so that's got blocked hexes, and
another one here which is funky. It's got these triangular things.
They're all blocked hexes as well.
All of these are blocked hexes, which means you can't put anything on them, and we've got more.
I can see myself moving people through there. That's slightly not as obvious as some when there's big black holes in them.
I think it's because normally they have a black hole and they stand out a bit more, but they've actually made these ones decorative.
And the other board has 3 lethal hexes and no blocked hexes. That's interesting. Okay, and I do like the iconography again.
Yes, it's all very Lost City kind of.
Yeah, and I suppose it's worth pointing out for those of you who have played Shadespire, this game still takes place in the Mirrored City. I think probably we know that from what Games Workshop have released, but there was some speculation beforehand, would it be in a different place?
Would it be in Lustria, or would it be somewhere else? Or whatever?
Yeah, in a different environment, and it's the same environment, just more stuff has arrived in the Mirrored City.
They've gone down to the NightVault.
Which
don't you open that NightVault?
I'm going to quickly, because it kind of ties in the rules at the beginning. Somebody asked this on Facebook: is there any lore in the game? Well, there is some lore in the game. That's a little bit. I think that's a copy from the first game, but then there is a little bit in here. So I think this is the original page from the first book. I think. It's one of those things you don't look at first.
No, you just open it. Like, give me the rules.
I think it's the same. And then we've got over here we have the Mirrored City. So there's a little story about the Mirrored City, what's going on there, and then there's a little bit of lore about the NightVault itself, and then you have the war bands of Shadespire.
Just 2 warbands mentioned here.
Exactly. It is worth pointing out that, I think. So just 2 warbands pointed out, and then on this page, a little advert for other previous warbands from Shadespire.
So that shows you straight away that if you do have old warbands from the old game, they are compatible. And if you don't have old warbands, you bought the game and you want to see what the fuss is and you want to try something a bit different, you can buy the old warbands and you can play them in this version as well, and you'll be okay with
Absolutely. There's been a lot of discussion online as is it completely compatible, and pretty much yes. I don't think there's anything that you can't use from the old game that you can't use in this game, that you could just combine all the cards and stuff. Whether that's going to be tactically what you want to do over time, I don't know, but in theory you can use absolutely anything from any of the games together.
And the next thing we've got is some more cards, tokens. So you'll get some glory tokens on here, which is what you're trying to earn. You've got your turn counters as well, pretty standard from the previous game, along with tokens to denote whether you have moved or whether you're on guard or whether you've charged, which are all part of the game mechanics, which you watch any of our videos and you'll see what they're all about. And then we've got our objective markers, 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are generally tokens that you place on the board during the game, and a lot of your missions, as it were, would be to try and stand on those and capture them, and that's what earns you the glory.
And they've got new artwork on from the previous version. I love this one. It's kind of like a space. I guess it's not space. I guess it's the.
It's like an. What? Yeah, neither of us can remember the word now. We're both going a bit old.
Astrolabe.
And dumb. Yeah, that was
an astrolabe. I was thinking, but it's like the diagram of the
planets
Mortal Realms.
Oh, it is actually. Yeah, I think it is something like that. Yeah. And then there's another board here. Again, you've got more glory tokens, more move tokens, more wound tokens, and you've got more objectives 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'll do like 6.
6's got a dice on it.
It's got some kind of dice.
Anything with a dice on it is good for Pete.
Yeah, I do like that. And we've got some another kind of spacey kind of weird theme going into a different realm kind of thing. It's all funky. I like it all. It's all pretty nice. I do like the artwork. And here's the last one, which is possibly one of the more exciting ones. Again, you're like, well, it's only got some glory tokens on here again, Pete. What's so exciting about that? Well, nothing there, but there's this one here.
Yeah.
And this has a random movement. It's got objective 9.
9 objectives in the other game?
There were 9 in the other game, yeah.
Terrible memory. Well, we never played a multiplayer game. There is this one here and these 2 here. Interesting.
Yeah. These will be revealed in one of our later videos, so you'll have to keep an eye on those because we'll cover what these are. And this one is a movement hex, so you can put things down that will move around randomly depending on your dice.
It's called a scatter hex, one of the new rules, which you can check out in the new rules video, which I think people put up here. We put up.
Put up there again.
More on that later, but that is a brand new rule to NightVault only. It's not in the original Shadespire game.
So that is the contents of the box. So you get your learn to play, and you learn to play here, like Robin says, it has a summary contents for everything you've got in the box, which we've covered. It's got some nice painted versions of the models here. Gives you a little diagram of all of the tokens and what your defense dice and what they mean.
It does tell you that the other token with the kind of more mouth kind of thing is a chasm token. Chasm sounds rather exciting.
There's a little tutorial here that will walk you through and understanding your fighter card. Here we have the Briar Queen. And then we've got playing the game, and it explains things like the action phase, activations, attack actions, going on guard, all that kind of stuff. Combat and how you do combat with rolling of dice and critical successes. How you work out supports. Robin, you need to read that one. Going out action, end phases, victory, and what's next. And also gives you a bit of how you count distances, because it is all hex-based. There are no tape measures in this game. So there you go, and then it gives you a little summary on the end of the battlefield.
Just like a little setup game, so there's 3 Nighthawks and 2 Stormcast for a little trial game. Yeah, you don't really trial any of the cards, you just trial the mechanics.
Yes, which I think the cards are definitely second game stuff.
Yes, I would say so. Yeah, the mechanics are fairly straightforward, and the cards add depth, but you definitely want to play this kind of mini game first. I suspect the Stormcast will win because there's 2 of them and 3 of them, and normally it's 3 versus 7.
Yeah.
But so we haven't tried it, so I don't know. That will go through all of the core mechanics of combat and stuff, but not the spells. Now, we should say, and again, it will be in the extra rules video that we're going to do, that this game introduces spells to the Mirrored City, which everybody's very excited about.
Very, very.
And you can find out about that in our additional rules video up there again. So that is the box in a nutshell.
Or just a cardboard box.
Yeah, I will say before we close that the cards, there are different types of cards, but the main game works is basically each of your heroes has a card. So there are 3 for the Stormcast and then 7 cards.
7 for the Nighthawk. You've got the Briar Queen, you've got Varklav, the Cruel, the Everhanged, and then you get a load of Chain Brass ones. They're all mostly the same. You get 4 of those in there.
And so that's kind of the the driving force of the game. Really, they are the characters that you play in the game, and or your army is made up of, or your warband is made up of, and everything you need to know is on those cards.
Yep.
And for those who have never played the game, they are the only ones you can use if you're playing NightVault. You can't swap about, so you can't have bring in different people. You have to play with those cards.
And whilst there aren't any other Nighthaunt warbands out yet, there are other Stormcast warbands out, and you can't take any of those.
Yeah,
so if you are the I can't remember what they're called now. If you are Stormsire's Curse Breakers, then you can only take those 3 guys. You can't take any of the other
mix
guys.
and match. I will quickly show you that there are 2 other types of cards for each army, each warband. There are gold-backed objective cards and grey-backed power cards.
And your power cards get split into ploys and upgrades and spells.
But if you watch any of our previous Shadespire videos, then you'll see how they work. But I think we will also try and record a teaching game so that if you've never played before, you can see how it works.
We will be playing, hopefully
trying to get as many games in as we can and out as we can, so to speak, on video.
In and out.
See them, how to play them.
Yes, the sooner we can get these out to you, and hopefully there will be a battle report coming up later this evening. So obviously these videos are all out now. It's 11 AM.
BST.
Everything is out and available. Pre-orders are out.
Pete's had some terrible week and he couldn't do any video editing.
Yeah, but there'll be a cold day in hell before that happens.
Yes.
So hopefully, after you watch this one, you can go watch our What's Different to the Old Game version, if that's what you're really interested in. And then you can also look at our little card breakdown video afterwards. Then later on this evening, video for you to watch. Have a cup of tea, have a couple of biscuits.
Cup of tea. You may get a Agents of Sigmar mug if you wish.
Cup of tea.
Or Agents of Sigmar t-shirt if you really want to get into it. Or maybe one of our warband t-shirts. The links are below.
We will obviously be bringing out some new t-shirts with the new warbands as they appear. So keep an eye on them.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, there you go. So that's it. That is what is in Warhammer Underworlds
NightVault. Couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time, Agents of Sigmar. Bye!